Hi, good night, and welcome to Bench Talk. My name is Jason Clark, and tonight I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. Ahim Nero, Mr. Hasani Evening, Mr. Damian Reed. Usually it's Mr. Hasani Evening, but tonight I'm saying welcome to Spoilers Nightclub.
What it do, homies? What it do? Yeah. Fellas, what it do, man? Woo! Got Jackson tonight in the house. Welcome, everyone. Spoilers Nightclub is officially open tonight on Bench Talk. Let me go. Here if he's small, man. As some jocks. I may or may not slur during the show. Ooh, but it's stuff. Ooh-wee.
I guess we can get to this Spoilers Nightclub and everything that's going on a little later.
Definitely.
Yes. And tonight we are also joined by assistant producer at the SportsMax zone, Mr. Jherard Morris-Sealy.
Coming from the land of wood and water.
Good night, Jherard.
All right, good night, guys. Good night to the viewers as well.
Good night. How are you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
A pleasure to be here. Can't wait to get things started.
Trust me. I can't wait to get them started myself. we gonna be in for a hell of a show tonight. That is a fact. How are the guys doing, Nero and Hasani? You know, I wanna ask you guys about, before we get to the show. You know, I like to ask you guys about your Lakers. How the guys think? I mean, it's regular season. A lot of basketball still to play. A lot of the guys still getting accustomed to each other. But I have to say, so far, what I've been seeing from the Lakers, it's been horrible, to be honest. That's me being kind. So I just want to hear from Nero and Hasani what they think about the Lakers so far.
I can't remember. Probably other than the Lakers, they're a champion being crowned in November. We could probably crown the Bulls right now if this is the metric we're going by. But already Heat, we could just crown them now. I mean, Milwaukee probably won't make the playoffs. The Nets won't make the playoffs. So yeah, I guess if that's the road we're going now. Yeah. But other than that, check me in April.
Check your April.
Yeah. It's just a lot of nothing, Jess.
And it causes
nothing, man.
It causes a concern for you right now, and nothing at all.
It's November, Jason.
Okay.
It's November.
Okay, Akin.
That's all I can say. Simple.
All right, buddy. Asani, you a little scared, or are you scared to see?
No, the noise a little definite for the nightclub, but here's the saying about Lakers. So I think, can you saying Lakers in 6? The minute in 6? Yeah, Lakers in 6. No, but Nero, he said the Bulls. You could clone the Warriors, because the Warriors is 9-1.
Yeah,
we've seen this story. We've seen this story.
Delusional, Jason.
How you calling it? How you saying it? Calling Mark?
We know Sana.
They're gonna qualify. Yeah, the spirit. You see that's the difference between me and you. You live in denial. I accept the Spurs ain't the best, but you Lakers team that is this super team. The other teams that when I met trades, they look better than you. They gelling better than you.
Like who?
You bring in 2 old men. You like West
Like
Indies.
who?
You bring in Carmelo and Westbrook.
Like who?
The difference is Carmelo performing.
He ain't telling me like who?
Performing. On the struggling. You ask me like who, Nero?
Yes.
Look at the Bulls.
Yeah.
State. The Heat. Luka. Come on, Nero, man. I ask you who. You just watch the same basketball as me.
Jason Clark, you better for any of those teams he called Jess?
FA.
Any of the teams Dwayne just called. Would you bet on?
If you betting on them?
No.
I need you to bet on them.
Okay. Just checking.
I need you to bet on them, man. But you know, if I know you don't qualify as the top seed. You can come in probably about 5th or 6th.
That don't matter to me.
Jherard,
Yeah, it matter.
Jherard, are you a basketball fan?
Yes, but my team is nowhere in this conversation. I am actually a San Antonio Spurs fan, and we have been struggling for the past couple of seasons. So we're just on the rebuilding phase, right? So I'll just let you guys have this one.
Yeah, Colin Moore is is a Spurs fan as well. Yeah, so I guess that's where
Yeah. I accept that, man.
Yeah.
I know maybe next we can get back to some glory days, but we couple trades
I
away.
can take some time.
Pop's on retire, man.
Yeah, you're not bad.
Pop can't deal with that no more, man.
Guys, before the last week we were seeing the West Indies basically exiting the World Cup, and we also saw some other things but I guess Hasani would really get into those other teams that would have exited the World Cup pretty early. But disappointing performance, you have to say, all around for the West Indies. I don't think anyone could disagree there. Tonight, I know the guys are gonna definitely share their views about where the West Indies went wrong, where we could definitely let the bell going forward. So, Jherard, I want to start here with you. You obviously you definitely. I assume you're following. If you were following the World Cup, you have to be up to date, I guess, in your line of work. Firstly, I want to get your thoughts on the initial team that was selected going into the World Cup, and then your actual thoughts on the performance of the West Indies team.
All right. Thanks, Jason. I have a lot of concern in the team after it was first announced. I felt like this order should never have been left of the 15-man squad. I felt like Rockefeller should have been there. Of course, I felt like initially we should have named Sunil Narayan, although he was comfortable in his action, because I always felt like after the IPL he would have had some sort of level of confidence, and he knows those conditions quite well because he's been in India, been in the UAE for years, and he knows how to move at those pitches. I also felt like Carlos Bassett should have been named somewhere in there. I don't think, even if it wasn't in the main 15, he should have at least been in cabinet reserves.
I agree.
Carlos has not been consistent when it comes to international cricket since 2016. But, however, over the last year, if you see his performances in Australian Big Bash, if you saw his performances as well in the 100, which was right before the World Cup, or right before CPL. He wasn't too shabby in CPL either. So I thought that he should have been included in at least cabinet reserves. I don't know why Darren Bravo was named at all. I don't know what eligible for consideration. I don't know why. Having not even played, I think only played about 2 games in the CPL, didn't score any runs. Not sure why Darren Bravo.
You know why.
All right, yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was. Other than that, I wasn't necessarily too upset about Andre Russell, about Kyron Pollard. I wasn't too upset about that. My only concern though was Chris Gayle. I always had the feeling that he would go, but I was hoping that my force, I wouldn't. I was hoping that they would have proved me wrong with Chris Gayle's selection. But yes, with the reputation he has, you can't really fault them for trying. But his stats speak for themselves for the last 2 years. But he did show a couple of glimpses of his old self during the CPL, but I don't think it was enough to merit a spot in his side. As it relates now to the overall team play in the tournament, you choose a team, you give people specific rules, you come to the press conferences, and those people say out loud what their rules are, where you have interpreted their rules to be. Speaking of Roston Chase, especially, and then you don't play them. How can you not play them, especially Roston Chase? You say you selected Roston Chase to play a Marlon Samuels role, yet you don't put Marlon Samuels in your team.
Yeah,
You understand?
makes no sense.
So that I think we definitely got it wrong for the first two matches. Rafi Rampal was pretty okay in the first game, and then for the second game, I don't know what went wrong, but then he should have been dropped. He continued. Why? Another.
You know why?
um, we, we got it terribly wrong in selection. For the first two games, especially when I saw the starting 11, I was not confident that we were going to win the games. I actually thought I would have been a flick for the cup. Either we win or we don't. So said, so done. We lost those two games. Then in the third game against Bangladesh, we almost lost it. I was happy that we won, but I was not impressed with how we won. Uh, we tried in every possible way to lose that match. And let me just share something with you guys. I know, I don't know if we. I hope I'm not jumping the gun here. But let me look at the top six batsmen. The guys who batted in the top six were the top batsmen. Lendl Simmons, 19 runs, 2 games, 3 runs against England, 16 runs against South Africa. Chris Gayle, 45 runs, the number on the back of his shirt. 5 games, 13 versus England, 12 in the second game versus South Africa, 4 against Bangladesh, 1 against Sri Lanka, and 15 against Australia. 15 being his highest score. Evan Lewis, 105 from 5 games, 6 versus England, 56 versus South Africa, 6 versus Bangladesh, 8 versus Sri Lanka, and 29 versus Australia. Roston Chase only playing 3 games, scoring more runs than Andre Russell, scoring more runs than Chris Gayle, scoring more runs than Lendl Simmons, scoring more runs than Dwayne Bravo. He scored 48 runs only. And he only played 3 games. Didn't play against England, didn't play against South Africa. 39 runs against Bangladesh, 9 versus Sri Lanka, and not against Australia. A pretty good delivery he got. Shimron Hetmeyer, 127 runs, our highest scorer. 5 games, 9, 1, 9, and 81, which pulled him all the way to 100 runs. And then 27 versus Australia. Nicholas Pooran, 5 games, 1 versus England, 12 versus South Africa, 14 in his third game against Bangladesh, 46 versus Sri Lanka, and then 4 against Australia. We had a serious problem. I don't know. We were not able to adjust to the conditions. We thought that we were going to be able to blast our way out. And because that game did not work for us, our players did not fire as they wanted to, as they're accustomed doing. We didn't know what to do. Our bowling was not the problem. Our batting was definitely where we went wrong. The selection of the team is where we went wrong, and the leadership of the team was where we went wrong.
I want to stay with you here, Jherard, because I like how you brought things down just now. You ended off there by saying that the leadership is where we went wrong, etc. Do you believe that it is time for a change at the helm of the West? And when I say the helm, I'm speaking of just the coaching staff and stuff like that there now. The coaching staff and the captain as well. Do you believe that that there needs to be a change there?
Definitely. I won't say I have been a fan of Phil Simmons actually from since about 2014. When he got dismissed after 2016, I was not sure why. I felt a little disheartened because I felt that he was starting to bring West Indies cricket back to the fore. But what I saw throughout the entire year, throughout the World Cup, I am not convinced that he's the man for the job any longer. But I'm not sure who can replace him with. Desmond Haynes put in his name in the hat, and he has been snubbed twice. I'm not sure what is the issue there. When it comes to the captain now, I get the sense that the team is afraid of him. He's a feared captain. He's not the one where he embraces or he welcomes. His aura doesn't welcome involvement from everybody. I'll tell you why I say that. When he went off against Bangladesh, when we won that game. In fact, let me start from Australia. When Australia came to the Caribbean, Nicholas Pooran took over the helm of the team because Pollard was injured. Pooran won 4 games on the stretch, lost the 5th. In this World Cup, now fast forward to the World Cup, Pollard went off for 1 game, injured again, and Pooran took over the team. That was the first time, the only time for the entire tournament that I saw every man on the field having an input about what we should do about the game strategy. I saw Hetmeyer, who's usually on the boundary like this, just watching the game, he was in Pooran's ear. Bravo as usual in Pooran's ear. I even saw Roston Chase giving a couple pointers, say, bring a man this side. What it is obvious that the captain is feared. No one can say anything when the captain's on the field. And I think that is a big problem. Big problem. India has the same problem with Virat Kohli. And a lot of people don't really understand that a captain that does not welcome the input from the rest of the team is a very dangerous captain. It is not good it's not healthy for the team. So I think we need to make a change there. Either Pollard needs to change himself as a captain, or we need to change the captain entirely.
Okay, interesting points. I never heard that analogy before about Pollard being feared. I don't know about the other guys, but I never heard that. But it's interesting. It's interesting to hear you say that. I can definitely see Hetmeyer for sure on the field looking just away from the game. Even when remember he took a catch on the boundary. I mean, at that point in time, the game was basically done. The game was basically over, so there wasn't much need for celebration. But yeah, I could definitely see what you're saying. No, that is a fact. But I gotta come back to you a little later. I want to get into put some of the other guys know what do you guys think about the whole elimination for the West Indies. Really, I'm gonna start off with you because I know the West Indies could really upset your day. So I want to start here with you, really. What you thought about the performance and the guys going out in the fashion that they went out?
Not surprising. As far as I'm concerned, Jess, they could have left our tournament with a 100% record and lost the game against Bangladesh as well. That's my honest opinion. They could have lost 5 out of front, play 5 and lose 5. I agree with everything that Jherard said, apart from the bowling was not a problem. Everything was a problem, bowling, batting, fielding. These guys, at the end of these games, these men clear to take more than 5 wickets. Remember Ram Paul as the wicket taker. Ram Paul finished the tournament with 2 wickets. Jherard Bravo supposed to be a wicket taker. Jherard Bravo took 2 wickets. And these men are supposed to be wicket takers. So
interesting.
For me, the batting field, the bowling field, everything field. I think Pollard needs to start with this big, bad, arrogant. I can't say what I really want to say, and just come to the Caribbean people and say, look, on behalf of the West Indies cricket team, I am sorry. This whole it is what it is thing ain't cutting it, buddy. Not because if you get a review, 10 times, 3 times, 2 times. All he's saying is it wasn't to be this thing, that's it, third, but it's like, it's not something don't care. That's all that we lost 5 games, but yeah, let me see my money, put my pay apart, put my bank account, when it off my bank app, let me see that I was space to play in this tournament. I just can't get this one that. I mean the replace as the replace Carlos as the T20 and Jason as the white ball. I mean as the 50 over, sorry. They said he is more aggressive. He is all kind of Pollard does for me as to show aggressiveness. If he had 2 or 3 wickets early, he can call for he helmet and go out and go on that short leg. That makes him aggressive because he's put himself there. I don't know what
that's what people think. That's what people think. People think that's aggressive captaincy in the Caribbean. Put in a short leg.
Yeah, short. That makes more sense.
That's what they think.
These men, I don't want the word frightened, but let me use the word frightened.
Already hear you there already.
You hear me though? You hear me?
Yeah, look, you're going a little low there.
I don't know what it is that he brings to the table, but to me, West Indies cricket was better when he wasn't a part of the cricket for that couple of years.
Hey, you going a little low there already. I ain't know what the other guys, but I can't really hear you there.
I can hear him.
Hey, a little low.
Yeah.
Can hear you, Mike.
Yeah.
But a little low for you, Jay.
Yeah,
You're going a little low.
Yeah, all right. I gotta move on to Colin Moore here. To come back to you there, really. And move on to Colin Moore here.
Yeah, Jess. As Jherard mentioned earlier, I think the whole makeup of the team going to the World Cup was off. It was arrogant. You understand? It was a case of we friends, so we can ram it down your throat. You can accept this. This is the way it is. It can't change. Every interview I heard with Pollard, as Reed was mentioning earlier, is just arrogance. When a reporter asked Pollard if he think the makeup of the team, I understand you can't say these things, but at least show some sort of remorse or compassion. It's just a case of it is what it is, or that's what we do, and this is what we do. And then when you look at the selection of Pollard in West Indies team, if we say Carlos don't merit a play, if we being fair and we using the same marking stick across the board, Pollard has never stood out or done anything outstanding for West Indies.
Never.
I don't care how much franchise runs he had. Yeah, he has never done. The only thing that Pollard did was the 6 sixes off a scared leg spinner from Sri Lanka. You understand? And it shows that these guys simply, it's just a case of these guys. And I hear he telling in the interview after the Australia loss, he was saying that the players need to up the game, and I hope he take his own advice, because that Pollard is being honest. The IPL cricket is franchise cricket. It's a comfort zone cricket. The better you do each year, the more comfortable you become, the less pressure is on you. You understand? For example, you look at Rohit. Rohit could fill a whole IPL, but he was still captain Mumbai. You understand? Because Rohit, we didn't know what Rohit did in previous IPLs. It's the same thing with a Pollard. You understand? Pollard wins some games for Mumbai. He's a legend in Mumbai. But when he put on the maroon, Pollard has done nothing for West Indies cricket. I cannot recall, I said this already on the show, I cannot recall 5 match-winning innings from Pollard. You understand? But then to come and then you say that the CPL is, and I mean, it should not take a loss at the World Cup for me to say this thing. I say on the show, he's calling for another T20 tournament, which is basically a Caribbean T20 tournament, which I've been calling for as long as this show starts. Because to me, you cannot get the best of raw talent if you are selecting players based on a first class experience, because you might got people who never play first class cricket but are great T20 players. You understand? Barbados got a wide pool to the Caribbean. So for a guy to come through and make a name is very hard. It is very, very hard. We talk about IPL, but IPL, India got a T20 tournament before the IPL. That they could see we got some local talent here that we think should be in, or whatever the case is. But then he also cried down the CPL. He said the CPL cricket is not the end all. I don't know if it was a jab at Roston or a jab at some of the other players. But to me, Pollard is a fraud, because there's the same CPL that you celebrate 5 wins with Trinidad. You understand? The last time you won, you're on my TV, number five. So is, to me, Pollard seems to want to take a couple every time the pressure is on him. You understand? As Jherard mentioned again, we took Roston to the World Cup. We see out front, Roston role is to replace Samuels. To me, West Indies could have called Marlon Samuels on the phone and said, Samuels, pack you by, we coming for you. Sammy, pack you by, we coming. We basically playing back the same team from 2016. I would have felt better.
It's true.
I honestly would have felt better, because you can't come and tell me you carry experience, but the experience you took just is not experience that win or won games for you, apart from Chris Gayle. You understand? You took Rampal, who you say the wicket taker, based on the same CPL.
On the same CPL.
Based on the same CPL.
That's where I thought you were. That's where I thought you was going with the
It's
CPL comment that you made, because you picked Rampal from the same CPL.
You correct based on the same CPL, but then to come and cry down the CPL, no, because you get show up at the World Cup. You understand? Yeah. You were shown up at the World Cup, and that team, just that team going. Like, yeah, I guess it's Gayle farewell tour, and to be honest, I know people say Gayle, but respect is due. Thank you, Gayle. That's the end of you. You understand? I can live with that. But when you got other players like Russell, who's supposed to be another world beater, and these guys do not step up in West Indies. And again, just you remember we get here, we say West Indies in with a chance, run rate. I think it requires thinking. We doomed. We doomed, Jace. We are doomed. You understand? And I know I was not surprised at the rest of the results.
Yeah.
You going up against Australia, these guys just think the cricket. You seeing these guys just think bowling changes, this body. And I mean, it's just beyond me. And then to get at the coaching. I mean, it wouldn't be fair to only judge Phil off of the T20 World Cup, because the test team still doing well. The test team still doing well since Bangladesh. You understand? But I think Phil got to take a look at himself too. Because you really got to look at yourself on the inside and say, what's going on? What was your plans for the work? There was no clear plan from the coaching staff in the World Cup. As the guy mentioned too, as my guy Jherard mentioned, you could see togetherness with the Pooran game. And I agree. I would say Pollard is feared. I think Pollard is an assertive individual who, when challenged, he acts as if you can't question him. Mm-hmm. But so you see that demeanor coming across from him, like, I am a cricket guru. They select me. This is what you can do, because when the pressure come down, I still got to answer, or whatever the case is. But Pollard has continuously failed West Indies cricket. And I mean, franchise cricket should never be the basis to make it. And I say this all the time. Should never be the basis of making international cricket teams. Because if Glenn Maxwell do not perform for Australia, don't care how much IPLC play, he will miss his name. Mm. If Mitch Marsh don't perform, he can miss his name. So why it is that we, the West Indies, only feel franchise cricket is what determine you international status. You understand? And I hope that the selectors would not hide and come out and accept that they made a mistake. They will apologize to the Caribbean people, as Reece said, and just take it on the chin and move forward. Because you cannot come and ram this down the Caribbean people, try and accept it to be cool, expect us to be cool. It can't work. It cannot work. And there need to be accountability with Pollard point fingers in every interview after West Indies loss. Pollard did not, every time you ask Pollard, either he shrug it off, it is what it is, or he blamed this, or he says because of this or because of that. You get humiliated in a World Cup tournament though. Then you come and pointing out CPL and this. These are things you could have highlighted before. When you was pounding Sri Lanka here, I ain't hearing them about CPL. When you was pounding Australia, I ain't hearing them about the CPL. You select Ron Paul. You understand? And then to say, oh, the CPL don't count because you get beat. Just tell the people your plans was wrong. You had no strategies going to work out. You select. How Dan Bravo get on a World Cup trip to do it?
Madness.
You could just say you can't have a vacation, but then Jason Holder can't play.
Yeah.
Carlos at Old Trafford watching football. A man who is still in, and as you said, people are saying since 2016, but Carlos cricket in the last year in terms of T20, Carlos had decent performances.
Yeah, for sure.
Had decent performances. He captained. You know, see, he regained the captaincy for a team there. He captained in the vitality. Blah. So, what is the criteria? You gotta be friends with somebody. You gotta be a trainee, or you gotta be friends. And I'm glad it's true. I honestly, yes, I want West Indies to do well, Jess, but when things aren't done right, these are the sort of results that's happening.
I agree, Colin Moore. I can move on to Mr. Nero here.
I ain't really harp on much when what you guys said earlier, but with the selection and stuff like that, in T20 cricket, you either have to have the captain gonna have at his disposal X-factor bowler, wicket taker. So England would have had Jofa, Sri Lanka, Hasaranga, Afghanistan, Rashid. West Indies, the only body West Indies could have turned to was Narang. And then Picky. You gotta get the route of
madness.
Have excellent plans and bowlers that can execute. Unless you class him
people that execute the plans. Correct.
You understand? So instead you have to have those exceptional bowlers, or you have to have phenomenal plans and people that can carry them out to the tee. Moving on to the game against Sri Lanka. Everything went in the West Indies' favor because most of the time who won the toss, bowled first and won. Sri Lanka, West Indies won the toss, put them in. I said, all our West Indies win again because Sri Lanka can probably do some nonsense. Met 120, 130, and West Indies gonna muster it up. That was not to be. Men get a very competitive total.
Different Sri Lanka team.
Correct. And the game, and that's a different Sri Lanka team from like 4 months ago, you know. 4 months ago.
Correct.
And in the West Indies chase, that game finished so early. And they score, you know, Jess. West Indies lost by a little bit of runs, but that game was over probably in the 6th over. 2 men met in double figures. So yes, Hatmeyer met an 80, but again the ice, but again the finish. So Hatmeyer was having a knock.
Yeah.
So when people look back, oh, if this body the back, but the game was over. Ryan do a little thing, Hatmeyer try a thing again, but the game was basically over. Those were I ain't want to say empty runs. Well played to Hatmeyer, but the game was over. Unless he was out the work at that point. You understand? And following up now, the Australian game. That was probably a half a practice game too. How it turned out at the end. Russell first 6s for the tournament. I think he probably had 2 6s at the end there. He first for the tournament. Pollard highest World Cup score. Pollard had like when we look at the individual performances.
And he played about 4 or 5 World. He played about 4 or 5 World Cups in a row.
So it's like the individual performances was poor. So for me, I know the masses gonna blame Chris Gill. But from the outset, I was never contesting. People was arguing different things. I was arguing Gill came back into the fold and he played at number 3 throughout. So he was gonna go. So I was never gonna argue that. That was a waste of my breath. You understand? But no, people are gonna make it seem like it's Chris Gill's fault. That is absolute rubbish. No one had a good World Cup. No one. Hatman scored 80 something and done with 127 runs. Evan Lewis scored 50 and had 109 runs. Like nobody had an outstanding World Cup. Yeah, probably if you say Hussein held his own, but no one had an outstanding World Cup, and like the most hurtful part is like when you got these little ICC snippets when they're asking about players and stuff like that. 90% of West Indies is dominate that, and the rest is probably Indians. Who's the most entertaining? Who got the most power? I would take this from Russell. I would take this from Gale. I would take this from Bravo. And we put that together now, ain't nothing. But unfortunately, we have this how the guys end. A great era. I don't know where West Indies is gonna go forward from here because the cricket board benefited from these guys playing in franchise cricket. That was not an extension of CPL or anything. That was the extension of the timing. Our guys were the best T20 players at that time. So by extension, these guys were creating all the leagues and starring, getting the exposure. When West Indies win these World Cups, the only man that probably wasn't playing franchise cricket in IPL was probably Johnson Charles. All the rest of them was dominating the IPL. Johnson Charles probably played Sri Lanka, whatever. But going forward here now, our men ain't gonna really be the stars per se. Our men gonna just be the peripheral players there. Like, some of the down with Gale and Bravo. So that's 2 men out. So, and then obviously the rankings are already cemented, so West Indies got to qualify. And Lord have mercy. Let me tell you, that ain't gonna be an easy road. That ain't gonna be an easy road at all, boy. So West Indies cricket board, I don't know what. I don't know. So we thinking that some of these men have done a thing, but I don't think West Indies cricket board could stomach going to not seeing West Indies at the next 20 World Cup in less than a year's time. You can imagine next year. You can imagine me watching the T20 World Cup next year and not seeing West Indies there.
Yeah,
you can imagine that World Cup though.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can see them, Nero. They got qualified. You can see them.
So
for the tournament.
This is gonna be a interesting year, especially how the players and the board, because I know some of these men ain't playing all these series. They got franchise money to make. So it'll just be an interesting year West Indies cricket, especially for a T20 side, boy. Let's see the board, the players, how they can handle it.
Sonny, I'm gonna move on here to you. Your thoughts on the West Indies performance?
Apologies for purists, and the police come knocking, so we had to shut down the club for a little bit, but we back up and running and generator capacity. But everybody said what needs to be said. I ain't gonna send them more J's. It's short and sweet. We already done know that I want chop and change and everything, so we move forward. Puran is captain in. Puran gonna be my captain for Pakistan T20 series. Go with Nicky P.
Puran.
Yeah.
So you done a P 50 foot your guy or right, Joe?
Not my guy, baby. Not my guy. Not my guy. Huh?
You can make a team as a player?
You got up on a yellow baby few times. Skate yourself together.
You saying something called
Puran got improved glove work. Yeah, he got improved glove work.
Correct.
I don't know if it's because of the keeper, but I find Puran is not very tidy behind his stumps. And he just shrug off. Like, to me, a half chance could change the game. When you look at
when he was supposed to take off his glove. When he was supposed to take off his glove and left off his glove.
Correct.
That was an elementary mistake. That was an elementary mistake.
I was.
Then not only that, I had a chance against somebody there. Sorry, Hasani. I had a chance against Jason hit somebody edge. And Puran just like, you understand?
It was difficult.
And I mean, like, them is things that change games. And then sometimes I was watching when the ball coming in. Like, as a keeper, the one thing coaches always do is clean up the throws, or you understand? Like, maybe changing the ball and if not for the ball backing up, it'd be a lot of extra runs. Puran needs to improve his glove work.
I don't think the captain, the nonchalant arrogance, the sense of nonchalant attitude, like, you know, you only reflect as your leader, as you go where your captain go. So if your captain is this nonchalant, arrogant, this take
You're
that
still
usually larger
accountable
than
for
life.
yourself. You're still
still
accountable for yourself.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
still accountable for
he's
yourself.
still accountable, but like everybody was just like it was contagious. Like everybody was bad. Like everybody, every facet, man dropping catches, man misfeeling, man bowling, but so it just
it really was it really was an embarrassing old thing
but
for the West Indies for sure. But
yeah,
I think it was I think I saw
Australia 2022, we
I think I
winning.
saw a tweet from it was Darren Gaga. I don't know if it was legit message.
Yes. You maybe the 157 or 150. What you West Indies? Yes.
And at that, I think at that point, I think Sri Lanka was still batting.
Yes. What we did? Yes.
Sri Lanka was still batting, and you have
I couldn't get believe.
like you to me is like you have all of these names in the West Indies team, star-studded team. You understand? And a team like Sri Lanka, I mean, albeit the guys did play well, the guys did handle themselves well. You understand? The guys played smart cricket. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're going up against a West Indies team, and like I said, we all know. You look at that roster, you expect the West Indies team to at least put up a good performance. But forget the opposition for now. But when a team is batting first against a West Indies T20 team, you understand? And we could have someone saying that, once the guys reach, I think it was 150 something or at that point, I think
57, yeah.
And someone is basically saying, well, that's it. The game is over. The West Indies is now out of the World Cup. You understand?
These scenarios should be in front of you before you even step on the field.
Like,
you should know this.
I don't understand where honestly. I think Nero would have touched a little earlier, but I guess Nero, if you want to say something, I guess you can go ahead. But realistically, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I mean, like I said, we don't have a horrible thing. Where do we go from here?
We have to put our full energies right now in the test team because T20 cricket, just I can't. All right, hold up, put it. Just a quick football analogy. So Alex Ferguson had a great team. Ferdinand, Vidic, all them men. He ran into the ground. He retired. And all of them men just done at the same time. West Indies, all them men for the last decade in T20 cricket, we use them. We ain't really bring through. We ain't had a contingency plan that we use them. We ride off the wheels, and there's where it stop. No, we still T20 cricket still gonna play going forward in the future. T20 cricket still has to play going forward in the future. We know we don't got a few men going to. But fact, there's a difference between talent and what we want to achieve. We want to win World Cups. Right now, we can just be a contender right now going forward.
But I as Colin Morris said, I ended there right now. You got. I mean, look at the last performance. Look at the last performance of our guys at this last World Cup. Even if you can say, well, I done with these old guys. We can go forward, which I have no problem with. You understand? But you gotta understand, and you gotta be real with yourself and tell yourself, even if you're going forward and you guys know, chances are you hold some else in. But for me, I that's the road that I would entertain right now because when you see, well, obviously Bravo has gone. Gil more than likely is gonna call it a day pretty soon. But
he want farewell tour in Jamaica. We get rid of Shiv and Shiv the scoring runs, man. Farewell.
Let him talk.
But you got you got Pollard there. You understand? As the guys would have said earlier, never win a game for the West Indies. Never do the West Indies colors. You got Russell there, talent, but you guys know we think about Russell. He has nothing up top. You understand? Like once again, they nothing for the whole tournament. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it don't make sense recycling these guys that on the back end of their career and who don't win any games in the West Indies. So for me personally, I rather lose with the younger guys. I don't know what the fellas think.
And the players coming in like you see the old Gail and you can see Gail is a world beater. Narang a world beater. Like who coming in? Fabian Ali. Faber Allen is a good player and a solid team. Even at full capacity, as Faber Allen can just be a nice lefty, keep it tight, take good catches, and hit a couple sixes. Faber Allen ain't that. You understand? Obed is a nice version of Bravo left-handed bowler. But where is the Gale? Where is unless we Barry cricket after New Zealand or England or something. But I can leave that for the next part.
I like that last comment there that Rick Corbett has said T20 cricket has gone past talent and become much more tactical of it, and I totally agree, and that's unfortunately that's where we gonna fall down there. But I want to get back to Jherard here, in terms of I want to hear what he has to say about what we should be doing going forward, or how he thinks West Indies cricket will look going forward, T20 cricket will look going forward.
All right. I definitely agree with what Rico had just said. The cricket has gone past what we know it to be. It is not about power anymore. It is not about fast bowling. It is much more tactical. I was watching the New Zealand game today. And I was listening to the commentators analyze Trent Boult and Tim Southee. Trent Boult, Tim Southee, both men who are capable of bowling at 130, high 130s, opted throughout the tournament to bowl high 128s, early 130s. Not because they can't bowl fast, but because of how the conditions were working. They applied themselves, they adjusted, and they made sense of the situation. They knew how they needed to go and win. We didn't have that style of play with our current crop of players. They only know one style. They didn't get to hit off that style, so they crumbled. I saw the West Indies trying. They were trying hard to rotate strike, but they can't do it because the fellas don't know how to do it. They can't do it. It is forced. And whenever they need to rotate strike, 55% of our deliveries throughout the entire tournament were dot balls. More than half the innings that we faced were dot balls because we simply cannot burst through the field, so we can't score runs. That's all it is. In the future, I don't see the West Indies winning the World Cup next year. I don't see us winning the World Cup next year. But I don't think that doesn't mean that we don't have a chance. I say this because Fabian Allen is back into the team, as we would have mentioned before. We also have Rutherford, very capable. And I think now is to try roping in fellas like Dominic Drake. And there are other youngsters who have this in their head now that they've been playing because we don't have that flashy style, that West Indian style of big hitting to win tournaments for us anymore. And I prefer to lose with the youngsters as well. But I don't want us to overcompensate for not taking them this year. So we need that mixture. Carry Evan Lewis, carry Andre Fletcher, because I believe Andre Fletcher would have done well this tournament if he had played. I believe.
Whoa. Have a nice night, fellas. Whoa.
You can go back at that. You can go back at that because I know somebody here can agree with that here, boy.
Whoa.
You can go back at that comment there.
Andre
Fletch.
No, I think Fletch would have given us at least one innings if he had gotten the opportunity to play. When I look at the dugout, I see men who were hungry, who were embarrassed themselves, especially being a part of those T20, those 2012, 2014, and 2016 teams. Because in 2014, you would have won if it was not for the weather. I believe you would have won. Anyways, that's a story for another time. But we need to get in a current crop of young players using the same CPL, and I thought that Pollard did an injustice to CPL by and the West Indian by talking down on our tournament like that. Instead of trying to measure it up to Australian Big Bash to IPL, I don't think he did. He did us a disservice, a disjustice, especially in his capacity as
But to be honest, I will say disservice. I think it was a highlight. I think it was a highlight.
It's just the time. You can't do it after the tournament.
The CPL is literally a watered down tournament.
Yeah, timing is.
Yeah, it's the time, the timing. Yeah, because you can't have you bring in overseas players who are not at the peak of their career, who's basically at the back end of their career. You understand? To make a tournament that's supposed to be your best tournament, it was. And the worst is not the timing, but it is the truth. The CPL is a watered down, wash up tournament. Anything you can bring in, Pereira from Sri Lanka, big belly man, a play he before a Raymond Refa, like it's madness. It's madness, man. But it's just the timing.
Damien, I agree with you. Not Damien, sorry. I agree with you, because I always felt too that we should have had our own domestic tournament, because every other country has their own domestic tournament leading to or after their franchise tournament. And you will have that luxury, which makes it incredibly difficult for us to scout out new talent. Very difficult. And a lot of the IPL emerging players are ones who have done well in their domestic T20 league. So I don't know, it's only by chance that we found Dominic and those others, because they were already in a West Indies setup. They came through under 19. But what about the players who have not gone through under 19? Because the youth cricket is political as well. So we're not going to see everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
So we need to do something about we need to do that. But for now, I don't think we should bet our count on West Indies to win a championship for a very, well, I won't say a very long time, but it's not going to happen very soon. It will take some time to be back up to that.
Really something else, yeah.
Really, let me hear what your thoughts are. How you think things are gonna go for the West Indies T20 side in the future, or you think they should go?
How they can go? They can go as simple as this, James. We dominated Test cricket. We don't dominate Test cricket anymore. We dominated one-day cricket, 60 over. We don't anymore. We dominated T20. We don't anymore. And not better T5 or saying no. Let me dominate that for 5 months. And then square one. Simple as that. I don't see Indies doing anything in no start of cricket. Winning no major tournament in any start of cricket. Test 50 or T20. I don't see it happening.
I got to say, I think for West Indies cricket.
But I want to ask already. I want to ask. I want to ask really.
Oh, sorry. Here. Go ahead.
You think really? You what do you think about the coaching staff? You getting rid of the coaching staff though?
As far as concerned, Roddy, I said go back and be a PT shot come here. Send us to go a court, Afghanistan or Ireland or somewhere. So I want coach not only coaching staff, selectors too. When this team gets selected, really good. Roddy actually talk about Washington Thomas is the X factor. Well, I don't rate Washington Thomas, but if you rate him as your X factor, what you get at least one game? I want a whole complete shit. We can still lose. We can still lose, but I want all of these men going. All.
Oh, okay.
But just no, really, Dan. I just want to say that I think for West Indies cricket to turn around, right, we have to place a serious emphasis on education along with sports. I think that's where we as a region get left behind. Because for too long we have been saying talent, talent, talent. And as people mentioned, cricket is no tactics. Tactics can only come about with thinking. You have to be able to think critically, not just think because there's some foolish random thought. You got to be able to critically analyze and assess situations. You understand? In order to get out. And the longer we keep pushing back that education and sports cannot be together, that you made a lot of money when you're a sportsman. But when you look at a lot of sports leagues around the world, you understand? A lot of these athletes are educated, Jason, along with their talent of sport. And what I teach them is discipline. You understand? Right. It teaches you balance. You understand? Right. You then have to balance. So it gives you some form of responsibility before you even make it. You understand the role of responsibility. When you look at some of our guys, Jason, and I mean this is not because they say when you go on saying these guys IGs and you know you follow them. Just the vocabulary that these guys use, the language these guys use is beyond me. Simple things as Reed mentioned on here is I am and am. You will see a man saying I'm going AM to the beach or to the like to me these you understand? So there is a breakdown already. It's already a message you sending to the world. Like you will never go on Virat Kohli page and see he use you understand? This is certain I mean we might laugh and it may sound like, oh man, you can't see these men make a lot of money. But at the end of the day, you still gotta be able to think, Jason. And sports is thinking. You understand? So unless we start to push right back at square one, we can be right back at square one and repeating the same thing over and over.
Point taken, Fred. I could agree with what you're saying there. Yeah, I could definitely agree with what you're saying. You have to be able to think critically, and you have to be able to think on your feet. You understand? Situations can change in a game. You know, at any point in time, and I find our players seem to only know how to play one brand of cricket and one brand of cricket, only not able to switch up and think on the fly. And as you say, we're gonna continue to get left behind until we are able to fine tune these very critical areas. As the guy said earlier, it's not only talent anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, we definitely have to look into those things. We had the first semi-final today, England versus New Zealand. New Zealand seems to be that team now over the last couple of years. Very consistent team. You understand? They don't have the huge stars, but they seem to be sticking to their plan and executing it well. And just regular names in tournaments year in and year out now. Year in and year out now. I just want to get the guys' take on how they thought the first semi went. England now, after having a pretty decent tournament, now headed back home. So I can start here with Hasani. What are your thoughts on the first semi-final?
It's not coming home. Next person. That's it. End of story. Next.
Boy, Jess, boy. New Zealand, like, I don't know. Like, oh my God. Like, New Zealand, they're so boring, but they're so effective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like, the man, like, Spurs. The man, like, I don't know. Like, just, like, people talk about the best teams in the world, but nobody will mention New Zealand.
Yeah.
Let me look at the last 7 years. New Zealand has been to the World Cup
It's
final
true.
twice. The one when Start hit Brandon McCullum stump early.
Yeah.
Then the one with the super over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then the beat in right that was that. There was in the World the mini test championship just now.
Mm.
I know the mini final here again, Jason.
Yeah.
Like just like normally we used to have some chats in the group about resources and stuff like that. Why West Indies? Yes, West Indies behind, but for the resources, they must do well. But just when like taking about this in a few whole days, like these men don't get a lot of money. Like there's not an abundance of New Zealand cricketers. Like we could pick 4 World 11s, just 4 World 11s, and none of the New Zealand make it. 0, not one. And we could pick 4 World 11. Can't make it. None of them can make it. And we could pick 4 World 11. To match you where it can be hard. So it's like I don't know what the I take kind of the New Zealand culture. These guys have I don't know what it is, but the culture in New Zealand,
togetherness, a bond,
the unit, the bond, the understanding, the best feeling team in the world, just.
And
these things add up. These things add up. The runs in the field, these guys the state. England is a very exceptional team too. Like the save these men is met with the ball game for 6s.
Yeah, boy.
The execution for Saudi Bull, Saudi Santner, like Kane is an underrated captain as well. People used to talk about Stephen Fleming a lot. You gotta put Kane in the same bracket or even higher because what Kane is doing with this team, very cool, very calm, very collective. Like the total gentleman, and every time you look around, New Zealand is there. These guys, I don't know. The man is still the belief in the players. Martin Gutdell, okay player. Conway, no come about the scene, okay player. Mitchell, okay player. Phillips, okay. Santner, okay. Like, I look at the results these guys turning time and time again, just. So,
Nisham.
Nisham. Like, Nisham remind me of a guy, I don't know if y'all would know him. Probably before y'all tell me a guy named Jacob Orm. Like, he's one of them players like wouldn't do anything and they turn up and win a game.
Before we thank Jess.
That's what Nisham.
Might be having
That's what Nisham did today. Like Nisham had a bit. I think Nisham went in the super over in the World Cup too. Yeah. Like Nisham, like he's their go-to player in these sort of moments or something. Yeah. So it's like I don't know, but New Zealand.
But he had a good performance in one of the games too. One of these type of performances to get New Zealand to who the player that I had to. It was Afghanistan. I think Afghanistan. He come in the middle in our period too, and I think. But I just said the man's just ordinary nine blue collar guys. Nero just come in and do the job.
Again today, once again, the team New Zealand won the toss, but the man 160 yard. That was a competitive total. When got out and Kane got out, so that's it. But New Zealand did New Zealand things.
Oh, boy.
I thought that was it.
England do England things.
But I can tell when they throw the tournament. When these teams play like this, I feel Pakistan can get beat tomorrow. I'll show you top but them and start and blow off 2 people that tar here's away. And again different. That's all it is did. So Australia's the chance 120, 130. And it's possible when you look at that team go any day, that is still Mitchell Stark, that is still here's away. Pat Cummins in like tomorrow could be Pat Cummins there. So I kudos to New Zealand. Kudos to New Zealand, nothing more, nothing less, boy. Fantastic. Where Casino? Where Casino?
Well, before I talk about today's game, I just want to highlight to Mr. Evening that your captain in Macadonia upstairs. They just had to say that your captain in Macadonia upstairs. When Christopher Henry got captain in the West End side, I'll say no more. In the 2 World Cup, 2009, 2010, we made it to the knockout stage. On to today's game. I'm glad. I do not like England. I do not. England is just. Of the England 11 that start today, how many were born in England? First thing first. That's a World 11. That is a World 11, not 11.
But I don't know women is playing England for that. I don't fancy England, but
I just blame them for that. Morgan.
If I could use that advantage,
New Zealand
It's about
They're
France,
inclusive.
and that's what France is doing
Right.
football too.
But no, is it we just say one thing about England. Cool. But if the main players, people from all over the world come and play for them, kudos to them. Kudos to them.
That says a lot. That says a lot
They're
about
doing it.
that says a lot about respective countries.
If that's England thing and the boxing won't do it, that's England thing.
But
I don't hammer them for that part. Anything else, yeah.
I just feel good to get beat. I like Reed.
Yeah, me too. You know they're winning now without Joe fans. Stokes, oh Lord of mercy.
I just feel good to get beat.
Yes, I just want at this rate, not an English cricket will ever be on this show. At this rate, boy. This morning England game.
Yeah.
You know, we can kiss our dream goodbye, boy.
Yeah, let me record today.
Well, I don't really have much more to say, to be honest. I'm just glad to get beat. Real glad. Because you see, one Morgan, I do not look at him, but he's got the more. He had the most to say away. West Indies win that 2016 World Cup. When the guy blew the mark, he had the most to say. And from then, I hit one Morgan till today, till currently. So I am very, 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 very glad.
How you feel? How the next semi-final game play out?
That's a horrible. Pakistan, they have their bad game at the wrong time. Whether it's tomorrow or whether it's Sunday. That's my belief. They can have their bad game. I would prefer them to have a bad game in the group stage, but they can have their. For me personally, I believe they can have their bad game at the wrong time. Whether it's tomorrow, but they could win tomorrow, and they have it Sunday, or they could lose tomorrow. But somehow, I can't see Pakistan going all the way.
Yeah, see that game all the way. Okay. Jherard, what you thought about the game today, and then by extension, how do you think the next semi-final is gonna go?
Oh, I thought today's game was an exceptional game. When we were watching it today earlier, there was about 60 odd runs to score from about 32 outs. And my senior producer asked me who I think was going to win it. So I said to him, "Oh, England's going to win this." But then when I really looked at his scorecard, I realized only 2 wickets down and 60 odd runs with 30. I said, you know what? Let me reconsider that. New Zealand's going to win this game. You still had your munitions to come. Let me just say, I am a huge fan of New Zealand. A huge fan. I've always said Stephen Fleming was the best captain, even better than Ricky Ponting, because he did not have the team that Ricky Ponting had. Although Ricky Ponting was the other captain with the wins on him, he did not have the team that Ricky Ponting had. Of course, he had a couple of bright sparks like Ross Taylor when he was in his heyday. Scott Spence, the same Shane Bond. He had a couple of good players. Shane Bond, yeah, he had a couple of players, but he did not have the team that Ricky Ponting had in the Australia side. But it is about time. I think it's about time that we start to surprise us and start expecting them to do well. Because that element of surprise is why they continue to be so consistent. Because when teams face them, they're not expecting that New Zealand is going to come at them the way that they do. But New Zealand has gone past being that dark horse. They've gone past being the dark horse. They should be favorites now. And they're always my favorites to win tournaments. But they had an excellent game. England had a good game up until the 17th over.
Jordan had the yips.
Many a blaming he boy. English people murdering him boy.
Murder boy. Jordan?
The start already, boy.
But you could have seen even Josh Butler. I had a ball, man, ball away. Josh Butler. Yeah, boy. I can feel the.
Yeah. It is expected. It happens in every sport. Once the black player is there, it's gonna happen. But parallel to England, they had a pretty good. No, they had an excellent tournament up until this point. I mean, embarrassing the defending champions by an amount of 55. A team that you've never beaten before in the World Cup, and they come in the first day on the first day of the Super 12 round and completely shattering them. I think it was an amazing feat. But tomorrow's semi-final, I believe it could go either way. I don't have a favorite to win because this game is too hard to call. Australia is not the best T20 cricket team in the world, but they are great cricket thinkers, and they have the heart of that team's wish they had. So it is very hard. But Pakistan is on a mission. They got India, they got New Zealand. They didn't get to England. Well, but I'm sure that they want back New Zealand again. They came to this tournament with an agenda, and I don't think they will be satisfied unless they see it through. So it is very difficult to call. Of course, with the law of averages, Pakistan are due for a bad game, so we'll see when that bad game comes. But it is tough, very tough to call because Australia, they've now found form. They've gotten better with every game. Pat Cummins is yet to tell, Nero said. David Warner has found form out of I don't know where.
Everybody's free farm again.
A drop catch against me.
Everybody's free farm again.
But David Warner has found back himself, and he will be, if you don't get it out early, I'm pretty well fight. So 50-50 for me. I don't have an outright winner, but whoever wins, congratulations to them in advance.
Okay. Collie.
Everybody, once English go home, just I blast.
You good.
once the Queen side, I blast, Jess. You know that. I blast. So I was real. It was a good game of cricket, I must say. England lost the game with the Jordan over. I could not understand for the life of me. Jordan is a death bowler who's hit Yorker lengths consistently. Wherever cricket he played, could be IPL, Vitality Blast, whatever it is, he's come back and hit the popping crease hard. But in this game, he going for variety. He looking for length and man smart that. So when I see that over, I said good. The dead. And I couldn't feel no better, Jace, man. I couldn't feel no better. I felt so good. Tomorrow just want Pakistan complete the other half now. You understand? And say, I honestly, people think about upset, but I don't think Pakistan. I think Pakistan will beat Australia tomorrow. I honestly feel so. Regardless of how the toss go, I think Pakistan bowling attack is way better than the Aussies bowling attack. I mean, given you got Pat Cummins instead of Blaze yet, but that man is mad with that new ball. The man literally swing the new ball, Jace. You understand? So to me, even though, yes, you still got Shahid Afridi, you still got Hassan Ali, Rauf, who real quick. So to me, Pakistan got better bowling lineup, but Australia's a team you can't write off. One thing about Australia is that they're going to fight, they're going to play cricket hard, they're going to come at you hard.
Yeah.
But when you look at the Australia lineup, Warner score 8 again, but drop chance. You know what I'm saying? He might see fine form, but to me, he still ain't fluent. He ain't fluent. So bowlers will always feel the stand a chance against it. And hopefully Pakistan feel they on because Pakistan is similar to me, as Indies. They don't know what Pakistan feel. They think will turn up, but hopefully they're on and they take the chances.
Steve Smith might get freaky for Mario.
Yeah, that's what he's saying too. He might got here and there, know that. You understand? He might turn up tomorrow, but I honestly believe Pakistan hold the cards, man. But Babar is one in tremendous form.
Yeah.
Stark and David wanted that here.
Don't mind. That's only one. Right. You got that's one, but it's two. So I am mine. And I think as Jherard said, I think Pakistan literally came into this tournament with a chip on his shoulder. A lot of world teams turning. We want cricket, but we have our own T20 leagues. Some of these said players just come and play. So I think Pakistan is a statement. They got a statement to make. And Australia is one of the teams that refuse to come down. So I know for sure Pakistan looking for blood tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I want to get into the, just speak briefly about Bravo. What he has given to West Indies cricket and
India need to work out the more, Jess.
No. Before I get into that, a man said, maybe we were doing the predictions. A man said that India is not. No,
No,
yeah,
sir. You talk about Bravo and I can handle that. No, you don't have my shine tonight, sir.
No, I give you platform, sir. I give you platform.
Okay, second.
No, I give you platform. I said the man said that India is not going to make it out of the group stage, and we all we all thought that it was I don't even know what to say. But it was a bold statement to make. I would just leave it at that. It was a very bold statement to make, but I did say
believe it at that time neither.
Yeah, I did say if it did come to pass, we would really have to, give Jack his jacket and applaud that man. So Hasani, yeah, you were the person that said that India isn't gonna make it to the group stage.
We need to take the viewers back. We should. You need to.
I'm gonna hand it over to you, Hasani.
Oh, okay.
I can let you roast your guy Nero. So you.
Oh well. Welcome, fellas. Club Spoilers Night Club in business. Jherard is our first VIP member. Let's take you back to see how this club became open, shall we? Let me
go. And dilute this thing here now. Give me some BS. Favorites, Jess. Favorites.
Okay.
I agree. I could agree.
You agree there and Mark. Favorites for you.
India's first semi-final for me.
A star-studded team. If you look at the Kohlis, Pants, look at it. India, they got the ability. They got the ability
experience.
Yeah. They're winners. Yeah. Man, look at it. They are winners. They
got them in the semi-final.
You can't argue there.
As far as the semis.
I think the
as
team.
Far as the semis, really.
Yeah, I think the team.
As far as semis.
India will win it all.
You have India to win it all.
No, the team. Whoever beats India will win it all. Whoever beats India will win it all. India aren't beaten, they'll win it. But whoever beats India will win it.
India the favorites.
Yeah.
They are the favorites.
Really, I don't want it to go all the way, really.
As far as the semi-final for me.
As far as semis. Okay. Wow.
What about you, Swing? What about you?
We can get a shocker here.
What about you?
You working out like the power now?
I can say this and let the chips fall with it, man. India, I don't believe India can get the group. As much as they look good, and they did tell Nero pretty sure. I don't believe the game. Honestly,
you play the Stephen A role, you get paid.
I don't believe I don't believe they can get the group. We can get a shocker.
This over.
Oh, you hate them?
No, I just think there are some other factors to prove for other teams in that than
too much cut spoiling the bro.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Hasani. I mean, it's your opinion, but you got other teams that you said that might have something to prove, but you gotta prove it against India.
All right, yeah. New Zealand has been on this tier since that World Cup lost. That World Cup lost, right?
Yeah.
Legs, and more legs, Hasani. New Zealand ain't stand a chance, Hasani.
All right.
Even if you say that, yo,
I just want the fellas to remember that when the chips fall with him, man, Hasani, that was so. Just if it so happens that I'm correct, I just want you and everybody else to acknowledge that at 10:25 on the Twitter, Hasani Talbot and so here. I am on here. Good.
You're gonna be so around that when you done, you're gonna walk over here like Calvin Franklin, man.
I gotta get a drawstring bag.
You're gonna walk over there like Franklin, boy. You're gonna be so around.
If I'm wrong, Jess, I can hold my lips. But let me tell when I'm halfway right.
Oh, he make a nut you. Don't make
That would be if you're right, Hasani boy, you really got put some respect for your name, because that would be a very, very, very bold. It is a very bold statement. If it was actually come to pass, Hasani, you're right.
T20 50 over cricket. There's 20. A lot of things is gonna go right on the day. You know, a lot of things is gonna go right. As sweet as India batting liner is, that can be not for three in a hurry. Rahul, Sharma, Kohli gone solo. So that's why.
We may go at a man, brother.
Hassani, once again, Hassani, your opinion.
Their backbone is a heavy pant. People holding for this pant.
I
You know who scored runs, man? Who fast scored runs today too, man?
You said
me care Raul Sky. I know
Sky.
I want you to know say that yet.
It's called Virat. Who was it called?
Rahul.
But I mean,
India got so much batting, brother.
So much. Kishan.
Was the main reason? Was the main reason? Yes, it's like
they got too much batting.
Rohit number one. Rohit is probably in our era easily one of the best white ball players that we have seen in our era for sure.
Man, for sure.
And then
there's a lot of pressure on India too, you know.
You got Virat there, probably arguably one of the best batsmen to ever play the game of cricket. So I care about who, you know, on this day could be player.
That's what I said. If I am wrong, I'm gonna hold my legs.
Okay.
I can't to tell you so, Jess, because if you no play down there.
Yeah.
So he blessed.
If I'm right, let me tell you when I give me cat piss and pepper. Oh, cat piss and pepper. Oh, I can't be the hypocrite quickly, man. Ooh, people message me and say, Sonny, you got the receipts, man. But my friend said, New Zealand ain't gonna win a game. Never. Rohit legs, this body legs. Ooh, Kohli's the best thing in the world. Oh, woo-hoo. Yes, boy, I behaved myself last week. It was a good sport last week. But I come for them tonight. I come for one tonight. This body, I tell when India was under pressure. Not a ball then, boy, not a game. So, Amar said, I already messaged Amar. I said he come back from the under 21 World Cup, the qualifiers. I expect him my knighthood, preferably by November 30th, called, you know, I won't be Sir Hasani no more. We're going to just got the half honor. That one fed and Nero. And you
ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing.
And that one, yes, too. The courage of my conviction. Jess, you had a chance to come on, Jess. We normally predict together. You should have. We would have been celebrating tonight.
Yeah, it was a more same like everything on the boss. You get your peer person Saturday.
Man, to make a slim next to nothing chance.
100 predictions.
I also have a prediction that Pakistan and in the same video, but you know that Pakistan would have finished top of the group, and they did. I also said that Pakistan has bulletin board material, and they do. But you know what? Hassan is just a little pundit that for the street that come here with a little silly prediction, and the man said, "Hey, Stephen A. Smith." Disrespect. Just want people to know. Spoiler alert is alive and well tonight. We good. Hassan is the president. I like that, Brandon Bass. You're my guy. Look at that, bro. Look at that. Prove my point. I got nothing more to prove from the ball.
We can't want to talk to you. You get your papers. You get your papers for that one, right?
You may not swing, man. You may not.
We gave your papers. But don't take it for this one. That was a bold statement. and it comes
Nah, tournament pressure. To me, it was just tournament pressure because they said like everybody saying Kohli did not announce that he the guy that. I said there's a lot. This is gonna be a lot of pressure call. Everybody gonna want to make sure to perform to get Kohli this big swan song right off his sunset when he win a T20 World Cup. That's captain, and it ain't happening IPL. Ain't happening now. New era.
Okay,
but yeah.
If I could jump in here, guys.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I wasn't too confident in India either. For these very reasons. For the 2019 World Cup, I wasn't too sure. I never felt that India was a tournament team. The best tournament India ever played in ICC cricket was the 1983 World Cup when they won. That's the best tournament cricket that they've ever played. Probably 2011 when Sachin went off with that World Cup. But India is not a big tournament team. 2019 World Cup, basically the same players, right? Basically with a couple new faces, and they weren't really firing. And they normally do well in England. That's the truth. They normally do well in England. But this year, playing in the IPL, the players that were making the biggest impacts in the IPL were not going to the World Cup with India. They were mostly the emerging players that made the impact in IPL. So I wasn't necessarily too confident in them. Rohit, I always felt he would have been a threat, but he didn't fire. And once he didn't fire, it was going to be stress. So
yeah, that was gonna be hard.
Great job, Hasani. Great job. You did well.
Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing more I can say there. But great prediction, great job, Hasani. You gotta get your papers for this one. You made this wrong. This is one that is gonna stand out because of the magnitude of this team.
I got some hostile messages. Just it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy sticking to your phone. I got some hostile messages, man, tell me that. I know what you're talking about, but boy, it really a silent thanks,
because I gotta get that one. That was a very very bold statement, actually.
But but the thing is, yes, they made a prediction, but when we were discussing and breaking up, there was some other little mitigating factors. Like Reed mentioned, Ashwin was gonna be turned up, but. It just Pakistan and New Zealand on a different, like, even I guess how you approach the first game. India was the first game for most teams was like a final. Called how you start the tournament is how you can end the tournament. You can take off on there because there ain't much games you playing. You can't like lose the first two and then expect to come back. Afghanistan was for me. I would give Afghanistan, and for me, was a team that I would give a trophy to. Like, they played a good tournament. Like, there was a surprise.
A certificate, a participation certificate, man.
You too. But your category was the most underwhelming team performance. India.
And teams may won game.
So in that
that was of national significance, sir?
Teams
Who you beat?
Teams may won game.
Oh, sorry. You beat Afghanistan. And
now you want to get a trophy to?
And Namibia.
You want to get him a trophy?
Afghanistan, I have that one red on you.
Have your
Namibia.
That's a lie. Have your shine, though.
Pakistan right off your runs. Middle of the soul.
Have your shine. I have nothing to say. I told you all the many games in the group for the beginning when they tell me talking foolishness.
All right. You was just trying to cover your BSS.
You know?
Yeah, it happened.
Well, I can't be.
But you know what's funny? Amar also said whoever beat India can get the final. So technically, he's still kind of right on your prediction. Cause Pakistan beat them and New Zealand beat them. New Zealand in the final. But you never know, boy. It might swing.
But that was a good one there, Hasani. That was one we can remember for a while. That was the one we can definitely remember.
Hey, viewers,
I want to request
Wrap up that one, Hasani. Congrats on that one.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for your support, Jess. I know you of all people would acknowledge that. Not you, right? Not you fella next to you. But Jess, the good news is we hear that anthem. Anthem again. I know.
Yeah, but
it get removed for copyright infringement.
You know what? See, he even get you know you can hear that anthem at all. So
when the Sri Lanka West Indies first time started?
November 24th.
November the
21st.
21st. I think.
21st.
21st.
Yeah, 21st.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Also, Australia apparently agreed to tour Pakistan next year. So I know this was a peace offering. Hoping that it's going to be too heavy tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
Wait too late, fan boy. The wait too late.
Yeah. I want to be pummeled tomorrow.
We saw the resignation of Dwayne Bravo. Sorry.
Darren can resign too.
That was but you're making ain't I can't tell you so.
And more than likely, we probably won't see much more of Chris Gill. And so just open up the floor to the guys. What the either Bravo or Gill, what they have meant to you guys in terms of West Indies cricket. Any memories? Any really? I know you gotta say something about your man CG. Yeah, so that's just opening up the floor to the guys.
Shit, man, walk right now, yeah. Fella got a little trivia here, man.
You can't talk.
I got less of a Bravo. But let it be said that from 1930 something, whenever West Indies come into international cricket, the greatest West Indies opener ever. This guy here, look. You know you can bring it out. Christopher Henry Gill.
Chris Gill.
Let it be said. That's all I got to say.
That's all you got to say.
A great man.
Yeah.
I don't want your applause, sir. Nobody. Cameron Parler will never have a legacy. Never. You don't need your applause.
For Bravo.
Yeah, man.
For Bravo was I guess T20 cricket came in at the right time for a guy like Bravo. He was not an outstanding batsman in Test cricket, one day, outstanding bowler. But I just when T20 came in and the slow ball and his skill set, it came in at the right time. Bravo always played with a lot of energy and was a brilliant fielder. A brilliant fielder. Yeah, and he used to give it. I could have never complained with Bravo. When he out there, he giving it all. He played with the passion and thing, and I respected Bravo for what he was. I never expected when Bravo go to bat, I can get 100. I really good at ball here, take a 5. Bravo would give me a brilliant catching feel and give me a jig or whatever. On to Chris Gill now. Chris Gill is an absolute legend. Like, for a man, it's such a clown, right?
Yeah.
Chris Gill be beating her ball in her pop, just doing smile, just do shorter so.
Yeah.
Chris Gill doing flinch, doing show no emotion, nothing. I just can't beat your bowling. Chris Gill is feared. Like when I hear the greats of the game, especially in this modern era, talk about Chris Gill, like some of the fast bowlers, they talk about bowling to Gill and things like seeing Gill live too. Remember seeing Gill in 2019 T20 World Cup here. England. This was before your time. Mascarenas used to bowl some doublers for England. Gill just easing up and thought the 3W stand and like universal boss boy. That man was it. Remember when Laura asked if at Kensington in 2007 did they entertain? Chris Gill entertain boy.
Definitely.
That man entertain boy. That man entertain. And like Reed said, you know, old man always like to talk about their time and thing. And Chris Gill. When it all said and done, you match up stats and Chris Gill numbers at there with them are even better because them men had T20 cricket.
For sure.
So when you add what Chris Gill did in Test cricket, the triples, the century, the average, and in one-day cricket, and then you check T20 cricket in there.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer there, to be honest.
And he used to bowl too.
Yeah.
Very underrated off spinner. So Chris get up in there, yeah. Chris get up in there. One best cricketers that West has ever produced.
For sure. Overall.
Not openers. One best cricketers.
No doubt about it.
Ever. With limited technique, etc. Whatever you say about game.
But within limitations. You play cricket within limitations.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Chris get a legend, boy.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
For sure.
I agree. I agree with you. I think Bravo. To me, I got a love-hate relationship with Bravo. I think he shortchanged West Indies in a period of his career. You know what I'm saying? Where he was holding the board at ransom and not playing IPL. He and St. Paul went to vote to play. It was IPL, then West Indies, yada yada. But then coming back after that period out there, when he was playing the franchise cricket, he realized that, playing for your nation value to a lot of players that he playing with. You understand? I think then he realized, well, yeah, he owed West Indies. And to be honest, I think Gale for sure paid his dues. So I think Gale is a legend of the game. I think West Indies must appreciate Chris Gale. I think anybody with the record that Gale got, I know we start with Greenwich and Haynes and we can talk about Inca back, but when you look at stats, when you look at the runs Chris Gale scored in Test cricket, you understand? The runs in one day, over 25 one day hundreds or something. That's a tremendous feat. You understand? 2 triple centuries in Test cricket. So when we speak about great openers, Gale up there for sure.
Yeah.
Gale up there for sure. And as they will say, he entertained. The man's played with emotions. He's not trying to fear at one thing. Then in 1 minute he be class clown, do the Gangnam style, all sorts of things. You understand? So respect to Gale, and I respect Bravo as well. About play for West Indies and respect, but I think Bravo is not on the same pedestal as Gale in terms of legendary status. You understand? I think that some of Bravo career was a lot of hype as opposed to stacks or whatever the case is. Even currently, you can see Bravo do good in franchises or whatever, but coming back to West Indies is not a big taking factor when needed. You understand? So, but I salute all to them. I think that the day West Indies is a great service. So yeah, that's it for me. But I would like Gale, Sir Christopher Henry Gale. I would like Gale.
Yeah,
sir.
Jherard, you wanted to add something?
Dwayne Bravo will always be one of my favorite all-rounders to play cricket for the West Indies. Bravo is not really talked much about at Test level, but he has done some exceptional things for West Indies at Test level. I don't know if you remember, we had just before he was left out of the replaced by Darren Sammy in the Test squad. West Indies played against South Africa in a Test series, where we were scheduled for 120 yards or something like that, if I remember. And we needed a good spell of bowling in the evening session of that game. And Bravo came and he completely put down a spell of bowling that put us in a position to win the game. I don't know if you remember as well, Bravo took a catch against Australia 2005 in Test cricket. A left hand, one hand diving catch.
Mm-hmm.
Just goes to show the level of
Carib shirts.
Commitment. Yeah.
Carib shirt sponsor. Yeah.
The level of commitment that Bravo gave to the game. He has been one of West Indies' best leaders, especially in this time. He hasn't done significantly much in other formats, but in T20 he has been one of our front runners. I think
definitely.
But the stats are there. The most hits in T20 cricket all fronts. He has done his fair share of work in T20 cricket. He's a legend in my book. But I agree with Colin Moore. He's not on the same level as Chris Gayle. 14,000 T20 runs, more sixes, uh,
Hundreds.
333, two triple hundreds in test cricket,
Test
a
range.
double century in ODI. Yeah, a double century in ODI. There's not much that Gayle has not done. I think Gayle has done even more than a lot of batsmen in cricket. So Gayle is indeed a legend in his own right. He deserves every bit of respect. He's gotten every bit of fear, every ounce of fear he's had in world cricket. He deserves it because Gayle is a terrorizing batsman. And I would not want to be bowler to bowl at him either, especially during his fight. So, and to do it consistently for 20 years, almost 20 years. Well, no, 20 years because he played in '99. So to do it in 20 years in 3 different formats, he did well. So hats off to Chris Gayle. We will surely miss both of them.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah, time was come for them.
Yeah, that is a fact. Anything you're adding, Evelyn, or you?
No, I give it brief, man. Yes, men's legends, yeah. But for me, it was hard. It was hard watching the man go like that, though. And then you don't want them go like that. You know, like you should have gone out and that blaze of glory. Like go on top doing. And his average shot, he took a little hit at the back end because of the performances. I just said the man should have gone up on top. Huh? I just said the man should have gone on top. Retire on top. He was on top. I believe after the most of them should have retired after the last World Cup. Go on top. What's wrong with that?
No, we talking about my average take a little hit and all kind of foolishness. Wait
a minute, Reed. It was Reed.
We gave man flowers. We gave him man flowers.
I get him flowers, but when we can't, as players, we can't just sit here and say like you watching Gayle back has been. It's been tough to watch.
But the boy disagree that it was tough to watch.
You talking about from 2021, not just in 2021.
I can't play 2021. I get cut before 2021. Before that, yeah, legend. One of the best. One of the best to do it. Yeah, for West Indies. I would never dispute that fact. Was a Gayle fan too, but I know it might be like this, but it was just painful. Watching Gayle the last couple was like watching Freddie Mayfield play for Manchester United week in and week out. It's painful. It's hurt my heart, man.
And watching Kieron Pollard is like watching Virat Kohli.
What? You going further off Virat Kohli than you?
What it was, no, it just you talking foolishness, so you just talk foolishness too. What it was talking about Bravo, right? In terms of the commitment, I think. But I think Bravo get unfair to some extent by board too. I would say board retired Bravo from Test cricket and 50 over cricket.
Most of West Indies players is get through board issue.
And that was because he was the captain that time that pulled the man from India. From then man said, I want to make cricket no more. It's only because like the board changed that as Pollard became captain that he come back into this T20 thing.
True.
That is a fact. That is a fact. Yeah. And but I remember that series when they had the whole walk off. Yeah, that is a fact. Yeah.
Bear Jordan. That was.
What about for you, Jess, man?
Sorry?
We'll vote for
It's
you,
true,
Gil.
it's
We'll
true.
vote for you. We'll vote.
Man, Gil is a legend in my box, man. Gil would definitely be missed. That's the truth. Like even like no, like you still see the respect, although he didn't have, you know, the tournament that everyone would have wanted. You still see the respect from the guys with Chris Gale, and I mean, I remember, you know, you're going and you're seeing Chris Gale in action. Unbelievable, man. That's the truth. And as the guy said, bravo, although he may not be the legend that Chris Gale is, at the end of the day, can't shortchange what Bravo has given to West Indies cricket over the years. You know what I mean? It's both of them will be missed. Both of them will be missed. In my eyes for sure. Like the guy said, definitely Chris Gale more so just because of, you know, the added, you know, fun and stuff that he and all the theatrics that he brings to the game. But yeah, definitely two overall legends in the game, and I definitely make that for sure.
Earl said he hope that they bring the box mentor. That man can produce music no man. Oh man, the
I
man
think
can
you can't see that
bring.
happening. So if they bring
Huh?
back Sammy, if they bring Sammy as a mentor, no, you can't see that happening in all honesty.
But that's true too.
They can probably do another song for your next World Cup.
Well, Jherard, I want to thank you for joining us here tonight. We really enjoyed your input.
It's true.
That's true. I know Nero and I call him up for sure can definitely say that they definitely would have enjoyed it. But so I want to thank you for joining us on the show. You know, hopefully, you know, your time allows. We could have you back on the show, you know, sometime in the future. Like I said, we really, you know, we would enjoy your input. If you have the time going forward.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me, and I would definitely be back. Just know you can reach me, and I'll let you know when you good. But I definitely had fun. I enjoyed. It reached my expectations. I actually exceeded my expectations. So great job. I love what you're doing here.
Oh,
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
we're very glad to hear that. We're very glad to hear that.
Next week, early man.
Next week, early. Next week, next week.
Oh, Arrow, I thought we test going. Yeah.
Man, work ain't even done yet. Work ain't even done yet.
Let's see there, Earl.
Next week, early man.
Come class early next week, Earl. Come class early next week.
Well, once again, everyone, we just want to thank you for continuing to join us each and every week. We really appreciate the continued support that you guys show. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe whenever you do watch this video. Thank you very much and have a good night.